Some objects are more than just items of decoration. They are conduits, windows, or even prisons for forces beyond our understanding. This is the chilling story of the echoing glass, a beautiful antique mirror that a family brought into their suburban home, unknowingly unleashing a nightmare that would shatter their lives. What seemed like a harmless piece of history became a terrifying portal, reflecting not just their images, but the very essence of evil. The Miller family, a seemingly ordinary couple with two young children, found the ornate antique mirror at a local estate sale. Its dark wood frame and beveled glass seemed to add a touch of classic elegance to their living room, but shortly after its arrival, strange occurrences began. Subtle at first, fleeting shadows in their peripheral vision, unusual cold spots, the feeling of being watched even when alone. Then, things escalated. Whispers began to emanate from the mirror's surface when no one was speaking. Distorted faces would briefly appear in reflections. The family initially dismissed it, attributing it to stress or imagination, but the incidents grew bolder, more aggressive, culminating in direct physical assaults. Driven to desperation and fearing for their children's lives, the Millers finally called our paranormal investigation team, hoping to uncover the truth behind the echoing glass and break its terrifying hold. The team, comprising a lead investigator, a sensitive medium specializing in object-bound entities, and a technical specialist, began their setup after the Miller family temporarily relocated. The house, typically vibrant with family life, was now unsettlingly silent, its suburban comfort replaced by an oppressive stillness. The mirror, now covered with a sheet, stood ominously in the living room. The air was thick with a palpable tension, almost electric. Their high-tech gear, advanced thermal cameras, highly sensitive EVP recorders, precise EMF detectors, and the spirit box was meticulously prepared. Every cautious step on the carpeted floors felt amplified in the profound quiet. The feeling of being watched was instantaneous and pervasive, as if countless unseen eyes peered from the mirror's covered surface and every darkened corner. Within moments of uncovering the echoing glass, the haunting began. Not with a bang, but with insidious, unsettling phenomena. Disembodied whispers, faint as a breath, seemed to caress their ears, too indistinct to form clear words, but undeniably present, like ancient curses or mocking taunts. One investigator felt a distinct, sudden cold spot pass directly through them, an icy shock that made them gasp, the temperature dropping several degrees instantly, despite the house's warm interior. Then, a sharp, rhythmic scratching sound began emanating from behind the mirror itself, precise and deliberate, like desperate claws, slowly growing louder and more insistent before abruptly ceasing, leaving behind a chilling quiet that felt even heavier than before. The glass of the mirror shimmered faintly, as if rippling. As the team moved to the bedroom directly facing the living room, a common path for activity, the phenomena intensified, becoming more pronounced and alarming. EMF detectors began to spike erratically near the mirror's reflection in a nearby window, their lights flashing red, indicating intense, anomalous energy fluctuations. In the master bedroom, a heavy, ornate jewelry box, securely latched shut on a dresser, slowly, deliberately began to slide across the polished wood on its own, its contents rattling, before stopping at the very edge of the dresser, almost falling. No discernible vibration or structural shift was present. This was a chilling display of unseen, calculated force, a direct interaction with a personal object. The medium, a vital and sensitive part of the team, began to experience profound shifts in emotion, describing overwhelming feelings of intense betrayal, desperate rage, and profound sadness emanating directly from the mirror. They felt the overwhelming anger of a wronged individual, echoes of their final moments and the suffering they caused. As they directed questions towards the echoing glass, the spirit box in the living room erupted with fragmented voices and garbled sounds. In the midst of the static, clear, undeniable words emerged, spoken in a guttural, malevolent tone. "You saw too much," followed by a terrifying guttural scream that seemed to tear through the very air, raw and primal, causing everyone to recoil in horror. It was a scream of pure, unadulterated agony and vengeance, echoing a moment of brutal violence or hopeless despair. The medium clutched their head, overwhelmed by the psychic imprint of this devastating event. The peak of the night's terror occurred directly in front of the echoing glass. The air here was dark, thick with an almost suffocating dread, and reeked intensely of mildew, decay, and a faint acrid smell that hinted at old blood and iron. As the team meticulously set up their specialized equipment, a distinct, heavy, rasping breathing sound began to emanate from within the mirror's surface. Not human, but an echoing, labored sound, as if something monstrous was trapped behind the glass. Then, one of the thermal cameras, designed to detect heat signatures, picked up an undeniable anomaly. A human-size heat signature, clear and distinct, briefly appeared within the mirror's reflection, distorted and monstrous, standing for a few seconds before dissipating into nothingness. It was an unmistakable apparition, a spectral figure caught on thermal imaging, providing visual confirmation of an unseen presence trying to break through.
Then, without warning, a sudden, powerful push sent one of the investigators stumbling backward violently, losing their footing. Their camera clattered to the ground, still recording the chaotic scene. They cried out in surprise and fear, immediately describing unseen hands grabbing at their legs, a terrifying sensation of being pulled or dragged across the carpeted floor. When they managed to scramble back up, distinct marks appeared on their arms and legs, red and stark against their skin, consistent with intense pressure or grasping, like the raw imprints of spectral fingers. Panic began to set in among the entire team, their professional calm fracturing under the relentless assault. The spirit box, now a cacophony of distorted whispers and frantic pleas, seemed to be screaming, a horrifying chorus of tormented voices rising to an unbearable crescendo, an unbearable cacophony of agony and rage that threatened to drive them mad. The room temperature plummeted even further, dropping to freezing point. The sickening smell of damp earth, decay, and something indescribably foul, like old bodily fluids and putrefaction, intensified, becoming so thick and pervasive it made breathing difficult, threatening to choke them. It became terrifyingly clear whatever entities remained within the echoing glass were not merely lingering echoes of past despair. They were active, aggressive, and deeply, profoundly disturbed. They were sentient beings, aware of the living intruders, and they reacted with pure, unadulterated hostility, born from unimaginable pain and enduring rage. This mirror was indeed cursed, its very essence imbued with malevolence. The team, overwhelmed by the sheer intensity and undeniable malevolence, made the immediate and critical call to evacuate. There was no discussion, only an urgent, shared understanding that their safety and sanity were in grave peril. They quickly gathered their most essential equipment, leaving other, less vital items behind in their desperate haste to escape the oppressive energy that now consumed the living room. They rushed out into the cold night air, the chilling sounds of the house fading behind them, yet indelibly imprinted on their minds. The physical exhaustion was immense, but the psychological toll was even greater, leaving them shaken to their core with the phantom screams of a lost past still echoing in their ears. The echoing glass remains within the Miller home, now sealed away, a monument to a dark and brutal past it reflects. Its polished surface still hides torment, its secrets are very much alive, clinging to its ornate frame. Local whispers of strange occurrences and the Miller family's traumatic departure persist, confirming the team's terrifying encounters. What truly imbued this mirror with such malevolence? Is it the spirit of a murderer, a victim trapped within its glass, seeking revenge? Who or what still haunts its endless reflection, inflicting fear and vengeance on any who dare to own it? The questions remain, haunting and unanswered. The curse of this object has not ended. This investigation leaves us with a profound sense of unease, a chilling realization that some everyday items are best left undisturbed, their dark pasts forever sealed within their confines, guarding the tormented souls they contain. If this descent into the chilling reflection of the echoing glass sent shivers down your spine, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more chilling investigations. Turn on notifications so you don't miss our next journey into the unknown. Share your thoughts in the comments. What do you believe truly haunts the echoing glass? Until next time, stay vigilant and beware what your mirror might truly show you.